Let's talk about cymbal selection. We'll start with the ride cymbal. First, you have to decide what type of sound you want and what is the music that you're going to be playing. A general purpose cymbal, you don't want it too dry and you don't want it too washy. So it's tricky. The other tricky part is that there are a lot of great cymbals out there. Our market right now is loaded with wonderful products. So you really have to know what you're going for. Right out of the blue, you have to decide what is a real dark or clean sound, what is a washy sound, what is a pleasant sound. I've put a few cymbals up here just to give you a ballpark sound reference. This first cymbal is a pretty dry cymbal, a little bit harsh, but it would sound okay in a rock and roll setting. Here it is. Would that work in a big band or a jazz group? Not really. It's a little too harsh, a little too abrasive. This might work a little bit better. This has a dryness to it, but it's warmer and more compatible with jazz. This is a 22-inch cymbal. This is a 20-inch cymbal. That's a big decision that you must make also. A 22 really gets some sound going, and that's not always the best thing, especially for a younger player. So if I were in the cymbal game, the cymbal selection game for a junior high school or a high school or a beginning player, I would go for a 20-inch ride and something that is not too harsh, not too washy. Here is another sound that's kind of pleasant. The thing about cymbals, it's again very personal, especially as you get on in your musical career and you start getting very specific as to what you want your sound to be. But as a starting point, you really just need a cymbal that has good definition, that doesn't have any weird elements to it, like the bell that sounds like a dinner bell, or it has a weird rumble to it. I will caution you to not use cymbals off the marching field, because that can be deadly. Those things have been through all sorts of weather and destruction. But you put those cymbals up on a stand and you don't get any of these qualities that these cymbals have. And so stay away from marching band cymbals as applied to the drum set. It just doesn't work. One final word before I leave ride cymbals. It's important that you have the cymbal on a good stand. That sounds very obvious, but it's not just the stand, but it's the washers and the felts and all the things that go with it. There are many young players that I've worked with where their cymbal stand is rattling and there's all sorts of stuff going on. They have no felts, no washers, and the cymbal is touching metal on metal. So those are all things that can affect the sound. So make sure that the stand is nice and solid, that the tubes aren't rattling inside one another, that you have good felts, good washers, and that you have the wing nut or whatever device you use to attach the cymbal. These things tend to get lost a lot. So my suggestion would be to keep a nice stash of felts, washers, and wing nuts for your cymbals. There's another great sound when you're talking about ride cymbals, and that's the sizzle sound. There are some products out there that create the sizzle by kind of attaching a chain to the cymbal. Looks like this. And that works quite well. There are also just rivets that go in the cymbal, like over here. It's a great sound, and it's used for I guess more in a jazz setting, but what it does, it creates legato, it creates length, and it's a very beautiful sound with brushes or with sticks. So let me just play a few of these and you can hear what it does to the sound and how it creates a mood actually. So here's a flat ride cymbal with a sizzle. They can ring quite a long time, so it really is it's a nice device to use when you're recording because it just gives this kind of swimmy effect. Here's another sound. And then here's the chain. The first thing I would buy is not a sizzle cymbal, but if you're in a situation where you got a tight budget, go grab something like this and you can turn any cymbal into a sizzle cymbal. Eventually you will want a dedicated sizzle cymbal in your setup if you're going to start doing a variety of music. It's a great sound, so I highly recommend it.